Hey, good afternoon. How's everyone doing this afternoon? James with Team Finish Strong, and here doing a special event today. I wasn't expecting to do any live streaming today, but I stumbled upon this particular event that is happening throughout the day today, and I feel so strongly about the topic of mental health awareness that I felt it appropriate for me to jump in and not only join the event, but to live stream it as well. So I thank you for joining me this afternoon. Um, Interestingly, this week I had been doing some Zwifting and had done sort of a workout on Friday. And yesterday I was looking to do just some light Zwifting, tempo ride. And so I joined a ride called I think it's the Chicken Ramen ride. It's supposed to be a Category C ride, 2.0 to 2.4 watts per kilogram. And yesterday, as I got into the ride, I found out that everybody wanted to hammer it from the start. So I'm trying to stay with who I thought was the group leader up near the front. And I get up to the front, and people are doing 4.0 or better into the Watopia National Forest, I guess you'd call it. I was like, this does not seem right. Everybody is going way faster than the ride advertised. And I look up at the little map in the upper right, and I see that the marker for the ride leader is way in the back, like off the back almost. I'm like, the group almost dropped the ride leader. That's how bad people were hammering it. And I thought, oh gosh, here we go. And I ended up getting baited into doing a threshold workout yesterday when I was hoping to do a tempo ride. But it was a good workout nonetheless, and I have learned my lesson about these group rides and what their stated watts per kilograms are. You've got to take that with a grain of salt. And I have a feeling that this ride will be the same. Well, it's at least they're open and honest here. It's 1.0 to 5.0, so we're going to have probably a range of folks out here racing, fast group ride, solo efforts, or anything and everything in between. So I'm not looking to do another repeat of yesterday. Thank you. I think I had enough threshold work for the week. My legs actually are begging for me to do something a little bit lighter today. So I'm going to do that. But for those of you who have been watching my vlog, you know that this particular topic is something that I have talked about in some of my vlogs. I myself know what it's like to be in that dark pit of depression. And so I felt very strongly about supporting this ride. So I'm participating today, but I also want to encourage you, those of you who are watching today or riding, to more importantly reach out to someone who you think may be struggling with depression or anxiety, because it's often a silent struggle that people don't talk about. And with suicide rates going up 30% like in the last dozen years or so, we really need to have these conversations with the folks we care about. I just don't think it's right for us to let people suffer and let people struggle alone, because they don't have to. And as a member of Team Finish Strong, we believe that everybody's journey can finish strong through Christ. And I have to tell you, that was the answer for me. Somebody came into my life in that period when I was struggling and shared the hope of Christ with me. And it made a complete difference in my life. And I haven't looked back since. I haven't struggled with that to that degree since. So I thank God for that. And so I'm standing together with other folks today to say, hey, look, we support you if you're out there struggling, you're not alone. Folks have been there and have gone through that, and we're standing with you through the struggle. You know, start a conversation with the folks that you care about, and find the hope and the help that you need to get through whatever it is you're going through. Because I can tell you, almost anything that you go through in life is temporary. Any struggle is just a season. And just like winter, for those of us who are cyclists, you know, we don't like winter all that much, unless you love Zwift. But winter is finite. It's not 12 months of the year. And neither is the struggle of depression or anxiety and the trials of life that can trigger some episodes where you just don't know if you can make it. But the truth is, you can. You definitely can. You can get through it. And Christ, Jesus, offers a hope, I think, that is beyond what we have in terms of resources available to us. There's a spiritual strength that you can tap into if you believe and put your hope in Christ and trust in Him. So we see here, we are off to a fast start. I am doing almost 3, and I am in probably the bottom half of this peloton. So they definitely want to get a good workout in. I think I'm going to keep it at 3 and under generally, where I can. So, because I would like to have some legs left after this ride today. 27 miles. I think out and back, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but doesn't out and back go over the volcano, KOM 2? So, I think I'm in for some work as it is. We'll see. Hi, Greg. How's it going? Yeah, that's in answer to your question about the group and the pace. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if this is that group. It feels a little fast for the tempo type ride I want to do today. But I'm sure they'll drop me on the volcano climb. And I'll find a new group. Yeah, and I know what you're talking about. And let me tell you, as you've shared before, and as I have discovered too, cycling is a great way to handle the stresses of life. Your body physically produces cortisol, I believe, in response to stresses. And the body needs to have a way of being able to process those, metabolize those, I guess. I'm not a sports physician, but from what I understand, cycling and other athletic endeavors can help the body be able to handle those in a productive way, so that their damaging effects aren't felt. But yeah, stress is a big thing. Everybody deals with it. I have had more than my share of stress at times where I felt literally at work like I was a piece of meat and the vultures were looking to devour every last bit of me. It happens, you know. There's the economy's booming, work is booming. I know a lot of my closest friends are working definitely in excess of 40 hours a week in their professions. And it's tough. It wears down on you. But cycling is definitely a way, especially if you're an older American like myself, you know, in your 50s or older, and you can't go out there necessarily and do a lot of running anymore. Cycling is a great way to both relieve some of those stresses and socialize with folks. I encourage anyone who cycles to get out there on some group rides. Really great to get out there and get to know some folks that are like-minded. As we're doing here in virtual. In fact, I am not an expert on Zwift Zwift discussions or Zwift conversations. I know there's something called Discord, I think, that you can use to talk to other Zwifters. I'm sure you can use little messaging things too, but I've never found a way to master or even attempt to master those things while paying attention to watts and resistance. But perhaps Zwift will improve the interface to some degree in the future where it'll be as natural as what I'm doing right now, just talking. So we'll see. But I'm glad to be getting some miles in today and very glad to be supporting this very worthy cause. How's everybody doing on their weekends today? Everybody having a good weekend? You know, the Southeast has been dealing with record temperatures all the way here into October. You know, starting to call it the endless summer at some point. And been very glad that we had a front move in yesterday. This brought temperatures down to the 60s and low 70s. I don't even have to have the air conditioning on for my ride today, so very thankful for that. Got the windows open, breathing in some fresh southern air for my ride, and glad that the fall is finally here. I hope. I haven't looked at the forecast for the rest of the week. I've seen on some other YouTubers' channels that it's getting downright cold in some other parts where people are riding these days. Anybody hail from a place that's either still very hot or very, very cold, all bundled up already? I think the Midwest had some snow, did they not? Kind of interesting. Snow in September, I believe, before we even rolled over into October. Yeah, I hear you, Greg. Yeah, my knees are so thankful for this sport. I used to run a lot more, being ex-military. Used to run a lot, and my knees were giving me problems even back then. And as I got older, I just couldn't even do a couple miles without having to stop because of knee pain. And it just it really was a very limiting factor for me in terms of my health. So I took up cycling. Always loved cycling, but didn't really pursue it on a regular basis until just about 3 years ago. And haven't looked back. Like that. But hearing my phone chime the kudos from my last Zwift ride reminds me, y'all gotta check out my last Zwift ride. I posted a YouTube video of a short snippet of it. Never seen it before in my life. I was out riding on Zwift about an hour ago, just trying to do some tempo work actually. And for some reason, the game started freaking out, and I just started going in a loop, endless loop on the volcano circuit. Just around and around and around the circle, like a merry-go-round. After about 5 minutes of that, and trying desperately on my phone to knock my rider out of that loop, I gave up and gave into it, rode in circles for a little bit, and actually had some fun laughing about it. But the only problem is that when you're going around in circles like that, you can't go faster than 15. I mean, you can put down 400 watts, and your avatar is just going around at 15 miles an hour. So, like, nah, this ain't happening. But I did capture a YouTube video of it, so feel free to check it out. Real funny. I hope no one else ever gets caught in something like that, because that put an end to my ride. But thankful that it did, actually, because now I'm riding in this event. So I guess you could say it might have been some divine intervention there. You know, the funniest part about that endless loop to me was, what are the other Zwifters seeing when I'm going around in circles? Are they seeing me go around in circles, or are they seeing me at all? I don't know. It's kind of funny. I'll never know. So I'm going to open up the chat. Any questions or any comments, anything that's going on, or anything that you might want to say on the topic today that we can talk about. We've got 19 miles of Zwifting to do, and plenty of time to kill. My only regret about this ride today is they didn't pick all flat roads. It would have been nice to ride on some easy pavement, because I saw enough of the volcano earlier as far as that endless loop is concerned, but also on Friday I took a stab at the KOM, and thankful that for the first time ever I did get the volcano KOM. So I was thrilled with that, and actually had a slim chance of getting the trifecta, I guess you would, of jerseys, but it didn't work out. Have any of you guys ever gotten the triple jersey? I always thought of that as something that the elite of the elites could only attain. As a beginner Zwifter, I just never even thought I would ever even get a single jersey ever. So it just goes to show that the what you think is impossible, through some work and through God's help and grace, can be possible. So who knows? But that volcano KOM is no joke. That's one hard one to get. And then things like Alpha Zwift, those KOMs are out of reach for most folks. I'm just glad to get to the top when I do. So Greg, I heard in the last live stream that Emiliano finally got his Milstein wheels. Is that what I heard right? So that's pretty cool there. You know, a lot of the stuff you get in Zwift as rewards for new levels and such generally are rather uninteresting for the most part. They don't really help you at all in the game, especially if you're always looking as a racer to get a little more competitive edge, like a lot of folks have already. But the wheels are definitely a real tangible benefit. Great. Good to hear that, Greg. He's got to try those out. All right, first climb. Let's see what they're going to do to these legs. Okay, doesn't feel too bad right at the moment. That's good. My hamstring, my right leg, has been crying for some relief the last couple of rides. And so having had a prior injury a couple years ago. I've always been just a little bit careful about that one. Now, not stressing it too much, not overtraining. So, my goal today is to keep the work on my hamstrings fairly light, which probably won't be possible on Volcano KOM unless I just go easy. Seeing Titans Grove here reminds me, has anyone tried out the new steering? Anyone gone down the mountain bike course yet? I hear it's open for business. I have not myself. I don't really have a way to mount my phone to my bike unless I jerry-rig something. But as far as I'm concerned, it's more of a novelty. It's not really something I think I can incorporate in my training. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think steering has a place in Zwift? Do you think even in races there can be some aspect to it that can enhance this genre of esports? What do you think? As for myself, I've seen some other, I'll call them games, that incorporate some element of steering into their interface. Yeah, thank you, Greg. I've seen that video. It looks interesting, and they actually had their first race not long ago using it. But if you watch that first race that's televised on Zwift Community Live, it's more comical than anything else. It's like somebody's in the lead, and his steering goes crazy in a turn, and now he's like totally out of contention, and somebody else that ends up winning. It's kind of funny. But yeah. Okay, hey Greg, that's a great point. You know, how many times we have fallen prey in a race to the sticky draft when we're trying to get by somebody, especially when a break is happening, and you just don't have enough watts to break free. Steering would be a nice way to let the game know that you intend to get out of the draft, you know? But I guess, if you think about it, if you don't have enough watts to get out of the sticky draft, sticking your face in the wind is probably no better. But who knows? But I like the idea that if they could keep it simple, like a one-click button that says, "Hey, move out of the draft," not the complexity of the current arrangement. I don't think all that's necessary for racing. And in fact, you know what would be another neat thing? If they end up coming up with a device, like if there's a market that develops a device that allows you to control, let's say, that particular function on your handlebars, it would be awesome if they also had a power-up button too, instead of having to reach over to a keyboard or a phone. Because for some reason, my sweaty hands don't seem to register on my phone too much when I'm in a race. It's like at the very moment I need that power up, I'm banging away at my phone and I can't get it. And sometimes even with the keyboard, if my The focus of my application is not on Zwift. If it's on my live stream program, for example, hey, you can hit the keyboard all day long. It won't do nothing. So, but I'd love to see some hardware catering to this market. I think that'd be great. Looks like this group's starting to splinter up a little bit too. Should I go ahead? Lay down a few watts here? Yeah, we'll give it a try. There's only one person back 2 seconds anyway. This really is the group right here. Or at least the last half of the group that still exists. So we got 15 to go. 15 to go. Maybe it'll be pretty chill. So what do you think? You think the group is going to be chill going up the volcano? Or are they going to hammer it? Put your guesses in now. I can promise you this, I will not be an instigator today. I will not bait them into a Watt slugfest. For my part. In fact, we're doing exactly what I was hoping we'd be doing today. Working together to get some miles under our belt, cooperating rather than competing. No, Greg. Oh, okay, your guess is hammer time. Okay. All right. All right, and there's at least a 50% chance of you being right. And I suspect you might be right. I don't know. You know, if Emiano is here, he can look up the live stats on Zwift Power and see what everybody's 20-minute power is to get an idea if people are sandbagging for the climb or not. But I promise you, I am not. I am not looking to hammer it today. I already did that. Had that fun on Friday. So we have a very well-attended event, it looks like. You said you can't resist that climb, Greg? Well, then I guess it's good you're not in my group today. Because I definitely can resist it today. In fact, it will be resisting me the whole time. But it is a fun climb. You know, an 8 or 9 minute effort is a nice it's a nice component to a workout to get a good threshold effort for 8 or 9 minutes. Or maybe even test your anaerobic capacity, you know? Because for me, for the longest time, that mountain was almost all anaerobic for me. And it was painful. Just until this very last effort, it has been something that has always instilled a little bit of discomfort in my mind about attempting, because I know it's going to hurt. But Friday, it actually didn't hurt that bad. I felt I wasn't gasping for air the whole way up. It wasn't until like the last minute that I turned the heat on to try to get a PB, which thankfully I did get, and the KOM to boot. So it was like the KOM was, I knew the current KOM holder was, their time I knew was just within reach. And so I said, okay, well, there's the carrot in front of the horse for me to aim at. And it worked out nicely for me. And then I had to KO him for like 20 minutes while I was trying to gather 2 more elusive jerseys. But about 20 minutes into my ride, a whole group of racers came up the Volcano Mountain and wiped me completely off. Wiped me off the board. It wasn't even on the board anymore after that. So that was funny. That ended my trifecta run that day. Have you ever gotten a triple jersey, Greg? That seems incredibly difficult to do. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate it. You know, that same night that I was trying to get it, 2 other folks were fighting over my Volcano KOM2. One guy took it away from me by 2 seconds, and then they got off the Zwift. I was like, okay, I got no chance at this. And then another guy came in and took it by about 5 seconds. I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait him out. And then the group came through and wiped me off the board. I said, well, there goes my run. It's kind of funny. You can tell the folks that are out there on Zwift trolling for jerseys, because they usually got 1 or 2 in the backpack, and they're just cruising around aimlessly in Zwift, waiting for something to open up, as I was doing, admittedly, Friday night. Closest I'd ever gotten one, so I figured I'd see what I could do. You know, it keeps the game interesting and fun, you know? It's not just about going around in circles and hitting numbers all the time. That's what I love about Zwift. And what I like about the racing component too. Because when you're in a race, you're not looking at numbers. You're just trying to hold wheels, like I'm trying to do right now. And in the process, you get some good training. So these folks are already setting a prelude of what's coming up ahead, because they already hammered it up this little guy. So I think I've lost contact with that group. I don't really feel like hammering it to get back on. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're almost at the climb anyway. Let's see what I can do here. Some of them are pushing 6 or 7 watts over these rollers. Not trying to do that today. So, have fun. Have fun, folks. All right, here's another little mini group here. Well, now there are 3. See those folks up ahead? They suddenly picked it up. They're now doing more like 4 watts a kilogram. Everyone except the last couple. So, I guess hammer time started early. Well, I congratulate you, Greg, on your achievements. Jerseys are hard to come by, no doubt. Especially those jerseys that require longer efforts. You know, like for example, that Watopia flat reverse. You know, I've seen some folks with 20-minute or 16-minute times on those, and that's a long time to be going at it full bore. Long time. But the one longer effort that I do not mind too much, Greg, that you might also enjoy is the Fugo Flats reverse KOM. That one has been more reachable for me. You know, you can snag that usually if you can do a time under 11 minutes, which is somewhere between 3.5 and 4.0 on a time trial bike. So, you know, 9 minutes of effort or so, 9 or 10 minutes of effort, and you got that one. Yeah, that's the great thing about Zwift. They have a number of different things that cater to the climbing specialist, to the sprinter, and to the all-rounder. So those are, there's enough goals that you can shoot for that certainly can improve your fitness. You know, in the last couple of years that I've been using Zwift, I have seen a tremendous increase in my fitness. And you know, our area here in South Carolina is growing rapidly. And the roads used to be very, very quiet. The only thing you'd have to worry about is the occasional dog. But they've been building, and this is a good thing, they've been building subdivision after subdivision in our area. So the roads are getting more and more crowded. It's just getting tougher to ride out there as a solo cyclist and have the kind of respect from motorists that you need to feel safe out there. It's just for me, it's a risk versus reward type of a thing. So outside of regular group ride, I don't do very many solo efforts, unless it's at someplace like the battlefield. That is that's a whole different ballgame. You don't have the high-speed traffic. It's one way. You got dedicated bike lane. And as I've encouraged some of my friends, the battlefield, one of the advantages it has going up for it too, is that after 5 o'clock year-round, they close the park to vehicles. But you can, as a cyclist, legally use the park after hours until sunset. And so if you come in through a side trail, you can use the park pretty much all to yourself as a cyclist. And that's like having your very own criterium track to work on. It's great. It's been a huge benefit to me early on when I needed to really work on things like consistency and cadence, consistency in my pedal stroke, things like that. Well, that is truly remarkable, Greg, and that is great. Yeah, I got to tell you, that is quite an accomplishment. So you've really seen the benefits of Zwift, for sure. You have definitely seen that. So, you have the weight loss benefits, you have the health benefits, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, triglycerides, all of those things improve with cardiovascular training. So, hey, that is fantastic. I would say the same thing about myself. I think, although weight-wise, I've certainly gained some pounds over the years. You know, any married man can attest to that. Good home cooking will do that to you. But as far as health-wise, athletically speaking, I'm probably in the best shape I've been in my whole life, including those years I was in the military. Because as a 19-year-old, I did not appreciate the benefits of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do 3 miles. I did not appreciate that. That was always a tough thing for me as a young person, was the PT, or the physical training component of that. But now I love it. But I do have the advantage of not having a drill sergeant barking at me over my shoulder. So that probably does make a difference too, I would imagine. So yeah, diet. That's huge too. You are so right about that. I found that until this year, I was trying to have my cake and eat it too. I was trying to be a junk food junkie and a serious cyclist at the same time, and I found I couldn't have both. My body just was not, my body was not having it. I wasn't improving. I was, if I took even a few days off, I was gaining weight back. So I've decided now, being in my 50s, wanting to take care of my heart in particular, I've been very careful to watch out for my saturated fats and my red meat in particular. And it has helped tremendously. That and soft drinks, caffeinated soft drinks. Really putting a cap on those has been a huge benefit to me. Yeah, and Greg, I think as you continue, you'll continue to see improvements. I really do believe that. I wonder at my age, where and when will I stop improving? And, I see some folks out there in these Zwift races, older than me, taking home podiums in the B category, serious podiums too. And so it inspires me to say, hey, you know what? There's still some untapped potential out there waiting to be explored. And I certainly want to continue to do whatever I can to get the improvements that I need. Because I really do enjoy Zwift races. And I would enjoy them a lot more if I was winning them again, if you know what I mean. But I always have fun. It always is good training. And if I never get another podium in a B category, I'll still be happy. But it is fun to chase after that. That KOM that I just saw up there, that KOM list, I saw a third wheel at the top. It kind of reminded me of a results list on one of these last Fusion ECT races. So we got some big hitters. We got some big hitters in the ride today. That's pretty cool. Well, third wheel was up there. I don't know where he went now. But that's interesting. Let's see. Don't know how many minutes I got left of this climb. Probably one more circuit of this mountain and then we're through. As I promised, I'm not hammering it. See, there's third wheel. Okay, there he goes. Second place. This KOM always seems longer than it actually is. I don't know why. It seems like these endless loops, no pun intended to the earlier reference, are make it seem longer than it actually is. I'm gonna stretch my legs here for a second. All right. So Greg, are you looking to perhaps maybe join this event on one of the later runs, or did you do it earlier? Just curious. It looks like it's a very well-attended event. It says 220 here in my event alone. So popular, it looks like Zwift is having trouble keeping track of everybody. So I'm pretty sure that dropout in the riders is on Zwift's end, because I think you guys are still able to see the stream. Are you not? When we did the out to Zwift on Fusion HCT, I noticed that in the live stream with Zwift Community Live, they were having the same dropout on that long bridge. Everybody was disappearing around the same time I noticed it in game. Well, here we go. The banner is, I think, right up ahead. Yep. So here we go. See if I can catch up to these folks, so I have somebody to work with here when I head back down. I'll tell you, these anaerobic efforts, so much easier when you haven't been going threshold the whole time. All right, time to blob up. Yeah, I think so too, Greg. As far as the blackout there, you know, Zwift has been promoting itself so much and getting out there in the mainstream so much. I think that it may be going through some growing pains. Looks like everybody else I was thought I was grouping up with are 6 seconds back here. So I think I'll just wait and catch up with them. Or the reverse, rather. So, Greg, have you seen any interesting Zwift events out there coming up in the next few days? I kind of scroll through every now and then and look for something. I haven't seen anything yet. In fact, I stumbled upon this one today. But, looking to try to perhaps maybe get into another series like I did with Fusion ECT. And maybe live stream those, try my hand at those. But I really don't know. Zwift hasn't advertised anything. The only thing that I've heard from out there in the announcements arena is that Fusion ECT might be having another league, similar league, in November to the one that they had here. So, here they come. All right. Let's see. I'll make sure they don't blow me by here. All right. There we go. Very good. So I've been trying to keep my ear to the announcements, see what there is out there. Oh, there we go. I'm riding solo now. But trying to figure out where my next event is going to be, because I'm pretty much sticking with Zwift throughout the winter. There are some in real life events coming up on the calendar that I may participate in, but outside of a racing series that I'd like to do in the spring, I'm pretty much open. So keep it interesting. It would be nice to continue to live stream here on Zwift and try these races. So we got 7 miles to go. So I think we got all the climbing out of the way. I hope. I'll tell you, doing 30 miles in Zwift sometimes is hard enough. Doing it solo is it's like watching water boil, you know? It just feels so slow when you're doing it solo. But having an event or a group to ride with seems to make the time pass a lot faster, I'll say, for sure. Oh, 100-kilometer ride. 920. Okay. Huh. I'll have to look into that too. You know, if you guys remember, yeah, the vegan cyclist, whatever happened to his 100-mile rides on Wednesdays? I thought he was doing that every first Wednesday. Did he even have it this month? Did he have it on Wednesday? Was Wednesday the first? Because once again, I think I missed it. Oh, but it's a killer pace. Yeah, you're right, Dave. Don't they try to average at least 3.0, or is it even higher than that? I don't know what the pace is. Do you happen to know, Greg? I've seen him live stream one of those, and the pace was so fast that he got dropped by his own group, I think, on more one occasion. And he had to put in a couple of Herculean efforts to get back on. But, yeah, I don't know how, I've never tried it. But, you know, even with a ride like that, 40 kilometers an hour. Okay. I need the Google translation here between kilometers and miles per hour. I'm still using imperial units. Is that about 26, 27 maybe? I'm guessing. But so 11:20 Eastern on Sundays. Yeah, that'd be cutting it close for me. I normally have a church service I go to in the mornings on Sundays, and 11:20 would be kind of hard to make for me. I'll have to find out if maybe I can pop in from time to time. 25, yeah, that's a pretty good clip. So where does the vegan cyclists ride? Do they stay on Tempest Puget? Do they stay mostly on flats? Like TikTok, I think. I think the last one they did was TikTok that I saw. Because that might actually be doable for me in the draft, and only in the draft. But I'd like to put a long ride in the saddle at least once more before the end of the year. Yeah, TikTok. Okay, great. Yeah, that might be just the thing for me, is to do one of those. Not the most enjoyable 100 miles one can spend, but certainly doable. Now, do they stop like maybe a couple times to refresh, or do you have to have all your nutrition and everything lined up for the whole ride? Well, I guess if you're going that pace, you're talking 4 hours. So maybe you don't need a bathroom break or to get off the bike. Though I would certainly wouldn't mind being able to get off the bike halfway through for a few minutes. I don't know. Do they do anything like that, or is it straight through? Trying to keep up with these fellas without egging them on too much. Well, we're at the tail end of this thing now. Don't tell me, we're going over the reverse KOM, aren't we? Please don't tell me that, even if we are. I just want to find out on my own. This is not the way I would normally think to go back to the start. Help me out here, Greg. Where are we going? Where is this ride taking us? Well, if I had to go over the reverse KOM, I guess I could. I could just get dropped for a second time. No hard feelings. So I'm feeling pretty good. We're putting about 100 miles on these lakes the last couple of days, 2-3 days. So. See where we go. Ah, we're going straight. Okay. No formal stop. Well, see, that would be nice if they did that. You know, it's sort of like this ride I went on yesterday that advertised 2.0 to 2.4. There was no attempt made whatsoever to hold back what pretty much was 75% of the group from exceeding that, well exceeding that. So I felt like the folks that signed up were just a little bit insincere in their choice because they didn't honor the category limits. But I guess they figure if they're not going to stop you, you're free to do what you want, right? But 4 hours, you know, Greg, I don't know if you saw my video. I did a 100-mile solo on Zwift earlier this year. And I have to tell you, I had to take a break. I had to take a break on that one. And so, you know, it turned out to be a wise choice for me. Just to give my legs just a little bit of a breather. Hamstrings really appreciated that more than anything else. Yes, I see that, Greg. We are heading up the reverse KOM. All right. Well, see what these fellas do. Like I said, I'm not looking to try to push it up. Just want to keep up. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do a sub 5-minute effort tonight on this climb. I'll just keep it right where it is. Maybe we'll blob back up here. Blob back up. Nope, we got another namesake in front of me. No relation, I believe. Should have brought a towel. Yeah, I hear you. No, as far as today is concerned, Greg, I'm fine. I'm fine. You know, I won't push my hamstrings to the point of injury. I do have enough smarts not to do that. But I'm not looking to set any PRs today. Today is not my day to do that. Just trying to keep my aerobic base good, which I'm sure this has accomplished. One thing's for sure, these efforts that touch 300 watts don't seem as hard as they used to. So I'm thankful for that. About a minute to go, I'm guessing. And then this KOM will be done and dusted. Let's see, yep, we're almost there. I'll lead the way. All right, how did I do? 10 points worth. Okay, 5 minutes, yep. Perfect. All right, let's get a little bit of aero tech going here. And resume, hopefully. Almost. There we go. Oh well. They can go on ahead. 2.8 more miles. Shouldn't be too hard to catch up those fellas. Unless, of course, they put the hammer down. All right. Work on the finish here. Work on a good finish. Keep it 3.0 or higher. Amen. That's right, Greg. All right. I'll take a turn. Down almost a mile to go. It's been a good ride. Good ride. Good steady ride. Good cooperation here we're seeing today. Hey, all right, Greg. Hey, appreciate you hanging with me. It's always enjoyable to have some folks in the chat today. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll close this one out in less than a couple minutes. So not too bad, not too bad. We put in, looks like we'll be putting in close to 26 today. Half mile to go. And it's the last quarter mile. Not going to do a sprint finish today, though. Although some people are. All right. There it is. All right, I unlocked the kit too. Not bad. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to be about giving out some well-deserved kudos to some folks. And for the rest of you who tuned in, have a great, wonderful weekend. Remember your struggling friends out there. Give them some encouragement today. Give them a call, especially if you haven't heard from them. That's usually a good sign. You need to reach out and make that contact. So remember remember what we're riding for today, and we'll see you around next time. Folks, have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and as always, God bless. See you around.